People can accept a monster who knows he's a monster faster than they can accept a fake person pretending to be good. And I know that sounds messed up. Like, what do you mean they can accept a monster? But if you think about it, there's a reason why people like characters like Sukuna. Not because he's a good person, because he's absolutely not. And not because he's secretly misunderstood. Not because deep down he's trying to do the right thing, because he's not. He's evil. But the thing is, he never lies about it. He never acts like he's some hero. He never pretends he cares about saving people. He never puts on this fake moral mask and says, I'm doing this for peace, or I had no choice, or the world made me this way. He just is what he is. He just wants what he wants. And he does what he wants. And there's something honest about that. Not good, nor right. And I think that's the part where people are drawn to. Because with Sukuna, there's no confusion. You know exactly what you're dealing with, and he's a monster. And he knows he's a monster. But he doesn't care if you accept him, hate him, fear him, or judge him. Because he's not trying to win you over. He's not trying to look better than he is. He's not trying to make you feel bad for him. He's just fully himself. Again, not in a good way, but in a real way. And I think people feel that. Because people don't only hate bad people, they hate fake people. They hate when someone smiles in your face while secretly resenting you. They hate when someone acts loyal but they're waiting for the first chance to betray you. They hate when someone says, I'm only doing this because I care, but really, they're just trying to control you. That's why someone like Lotso from Toy Story is easily hateable. And I know, comparing Sukuna to a pink teddy bear is crazy. Stay with me now. Lotso looked harmless, soft voice, sweet grandpa act. The whole I care about everyone here type of thing. But underneath all that, he was bitter, controlling, cruel, and fake. That's why people hate him so much. Not because he was bad, but because he hid it with kindness. He lied. The mask made it worse. Because if someone shows up as a monster, at least you know what you're dealing with. But when someone acts good while moving fake behind the scenes, you feel betrayed. That makes you question everything. Were you ever real with me? Did you ever care? Was any of it true? That's what messes with people. Not the action itself, but the lie around it. The performance, the costume, the fake goodness. And honestly, that's where this stops being about anime. Because a lot of us do this too. Not in some evil villain way. Not like Sukuna or Lotso, but in small ways. Normal ways. We lie about who we are. We lie about what we want. We lie about how much we care. If something's hurting us, how far we've fallen off. And we call it being chill, just accepting whatever it is. But sometimes you're not unbothered, you're scared. Sometimes you're not relaxed and you're avoiding. You don't always just don't care. You care so much that admitting it would make you feel weak. So you pretend that you're fine with wasting time, being lazy, being inconsistent, and okay with watching your dreams get pissed away. After a while, the act does start to feel normal. You wear the mask long enough and you forget it's a mask. You start thinking, maybe this is just who I am. Maybe I'm lazy and I just don't care anymore. Was that dream ever for me? I'm not that kind of person. But that's not true. You just stop trying. Sometimes it feels easier to act like you don't care than to admit you care and still haven't done anything. It's easier to laugh it off. It's easier to say I'm chilling. It's easier to act like your goals aren't that deep. Sometimes you might even make a joke about yourself. Then you'll look in the mirror and say, yeah, this is where I should be. You know, I've done that. I've acted like I was unbothered. And I was really just disappointed in myself. I've acted like certain goals didn't matter anymore because I didn't want to admit I stopped moving forward to them. I've acted like I was okay with the version of myself I was becoming, when deep down, I knew I wasn't. And that's a weird place to be. Because from the outside, you can look normal. You can laugh, go to work, hang out, post. You can act like everything is normal and okay. But you know when your life doesn't match what you say you want. And you know you're not moving how you're supposed to move. And that guilt follows you. Even while you're resting, distracted, even when you're trying not to think about it, it's still there. And not that fake honesty where you go, I'm trash, I'm useless, and I'll never change. That's not honesty. That's another way of avoiding responsibility. Real honesty sounds more like I fell off. I got lazy. I became inconsistent. I stopped keeping promises to myself. I've been pretending not to care. I'm scared of being judged. I want more, but I've been acting like I don't. That kind of honesty hurts a little, but it also gives you somewhere to start because you can't fix a fake version of yourself. You can only fix the real one. You can't improve a character you're performing, and you can't build a real life on top of a fake identity. At some point, you have to stop protecting the image and start looking at the truth. And that's the real lesson here. Not to be evil or selfish or do whatever you want and don't care about the outcome. Because that's stupid. That's not even freedom. That's just being controlled by your worst impulses. The lesson is don't be evil, but be real about where you are, what you want, and what you've been avoiding. Be real about the face you show the world because a lot of people are not living as themselves. They're living as the version of themselves they think will be judged the least. They bury their passions because they don't want to look cringe. They act like they don't care because caring makes them feel exposed. They play small because being seen comes with pressure. They become lazy, not because they have no potential, but because they've disconnected from who they actually are. And once you lose that connection, everything gets harder. Discipline gets harder. Purpose gets harder. Confidence gets harder because you're not moving from the truth anymore. You're moving from a mask, and a mask can get you attention, approval, it can help you fit in, but it can't give you peace. Because deep down, you know it's not really you. That's why identity matters so much. Identity isn't just some deep word people throw around. It's simple. It's who you believe you are. And then it's what you prove every day. If you say you're disciplined but you never do what you said you would do, eventually your brain stops believing you. If you say you want to change but every day you choose the same old habits, eventually your body starts trusting the habits more than the words. If you say you don't care but deep down you do, eventually you'll start feeling split in half. And that's exhausting. That version of you wants more, and the version of you that keeps pretending you're fine with less. The version that cares and the version that acts unbothered. The version that wants to become something and the version that'll keep joking about everything every day. That gap will drain you, so close the gap. Not all at once, but 1% better every day. Just take one step forward. Just start telling the truth. Start small. I'm not happy with where I am. I've been lazy, scared, acting like I don't care what I do. I want to be better. And that's it. That's your first step. Move. Because honesty without action just becomes another thought you had. You have to prove it. Go to the gym, make the video, clean your room, apply for that thing, read the book. Wake up when you said you would, and do one thing that proves you're done lying. Not because one action fixes your entire life, but because every time you do what you said you would do, you rebuild trust with yourself. And that's what most people are missing. Self-trust. They don't trust themselves because they've broken too many promises to themselves. They said Monday, then skipped Monday. They said this month, and wasted the entire month. They said this year, and watched the year pass. And after a while, you stop believing yourself. So now when you say, I'm going to change, even you don't believe it. That's why you have to start small, with small wins and real wins. Have proof, not for other people, but for yourself. Because once your actions start matching your words again, you feel it within. You start feeling like yourself again. You stop feeling like you're just talking. You're not perfect. You're not suddenly healed. And you're not some new person after 3 good days. But you're real again, and that's what matters. Because people can feel when someone is real. They may not always like it, and they may not understand it, but they can judge. They might judge it, but they can feel it. And more importantly, you can feel it. You can feel when you're done pretending. When your life starts matching your words. When you stop hiding behind, I don't care, and finally admit, nah, I actually do care. That's not weakness. That's freedom. Authenticity is true freedom. You're not having to lie anymore. That is true freedom. And maybe that's why characters like Sukuna stand out so much. Again, don't take the wrong lesson. He's evil, cruel, he's not someone to copy. But there is no gap between who he is and how he moves. That's the part people feel. That's the part that creates presence. So take the better version of that lesson. Don't become a monster. Become honest. Don't be cold. Don't stop caring. Just be clear and stop pretending like you don't care. Because the goal isn't to be feared. The goal isn't to be liked by everyone. Your goal is to stop living as that fake version of yourself. And if you fell off, cool. Admit that. Own up to it. That doesn't mean you're done, broken, or who you are forever. It just means you have to stop lying long enough to come back. And the comeback starts when you start telling yourself the truth. When you say, this is where I am. This is what I want. This is where I've been fake. And this is where I need to move. Start being authentic with yourself and stop lying. Because the person you're supposed to become is not built through pretending. They're built through proof. And every action is proof. So no, don't be evil. Don't be cruel. Do not be fake. Just be real. Admit where you are and admit what you want. Admit what you've been hiding from. Then start moving like you actually mean it. Because you can't become who you're already supposed to be while pretending to be someone else.